Good morning, students. Hope you are keeping good health. I am Anup Kalita, course trainer of Food and Beverage Service from Northeast Skill Center. Today, we will be discussing on different basic cuts of meat and fish, particularly on cuts of lamb. Before starting today's class, let's do a quick revision on what we have learned in our previous class, that was on cuts of beef. We have learned the different cuts of beef, which were chuck, shank, brisket, rib, short plate, flank, loin, sirloin, and round. Completion of this lesson, you will be able to identify and locate different cuts of lamb and will be able to describe them briefly. Let's start with today's lesson, cuts of lamb. So first we have to know what is lamb. Basis on the growth of a sheep, it is divided into three stages. A sheep in its first year is a lamb and its meat is also called lamb. A sheep in its second year and its meat are hogget. Older sheep meat is mutton. Lamb is the most expensive of all the three types, and in recent decades sheep meat is increasingly only retailable as lamb. Now we will discuss about primal cuts of lamb. Students, do you remember what are primal cuts? Primal cuts are the cuts in which a lamb is divided into several parts by a local butcher. Now, the primal cuts of lamb are basically six. They are shoulder, rack, loin, front shank, ribs or breast, and leg. The shank is divided into two parts, that is front shank and rear shank. In coming videos, we will be discussing individually about different cuts of lamb. Let's start understanding the different cut of lamb individually. First, we will start with shank. You can see in the image the shank of a lamb. Shank comes from the area of meat and bone that sits above the knee joint and below the leg. It's prepared from both a forequarter and a leg by a cut through the joint that connects it to either the shoulder or leg bone. We can derive two shanks from a lamb, that is foreshank and hindshank. Lamb shanks are almost always slow cooked in liquid to deliver flavor from the bone. Now we will discuss the second part, that is breast. You can see the breast part in the image in your slide. Breast, also called sometimes rib, is a cut derived from the belly of a lamb. The best way of cooking breast is slow cooking. Although lamb breast has a higher fat content than other parts of lamb cut, but when slow cooked, much of the fat is released during cooking, collected and discarded. The next cut is shoulder. As you can see in the image, the shoulder cut of a lamb. Shoulder is the largest cut from the top front leg of the lamb, and this part of the animal works hard, so the meat from a lamb's shoulder is full of flavor. It takes a while to become tender, but it means it's a great choice for stewing and slow roasting. Now we will be understanding the cut of lamb named rack. You can see in the image how racks look like. The rack is prepared from a side of a lamb by removing the forequarter using a straight vertical cut along the rib bone and a horizontal cut along the top of the flap. A rack is cooked perfectly by either barbecuing or roasting or even slow braising methods of cooking. Now we'll understand loin. This is the image of a loin. A loin is a cut which is derived directly behind the ribs running down the spine towards the animal's hindquarters. The loin is where we get lamb loin roast, lamb loin chops, and both are tender cuts. So they are best prepared by dry heating or roasting process. Now the last cut, that is lamb leg. You can see in the picture how a lamb leg looks like. A lamb leg is derived from the leg by a cut through the heel muscle of the animal. The lamb leg is a very expensive cut of lamb, and the ideal way of cooking this cut of meat is roasting. I will wrap up today's class. Hope you have understood what has been taught about cuts of lamb. Thank you.